Welcome back to another edition of Weekly Sports Talk. I'm Jared Hilton. Alongside me is Kalehl Brown. Friday night, Cedar Falls defeated Waterloo West 49-7 on the road to improve to 7-0. This next week, they'll be playing at Dubuque Senior, a team with only one win. That was over Hempstead, who Cedar Falls defeated early in this year. How did you see Cedar Falls play, and can you talk a little bit about the injuries in that game?
Yeah, Cedar Falls got on top early and got out to a 21-0 lead within like the first 5 minutes of the game. You already knew it was over from the get-go. Cedar Falls is just a much better team than Waterloo West, and it looked pretty good. It was good to see some of those younger guys again getting those games early and getting their experience for next year. It's going to really improve the Tigers team as they look to go to the playoffs. And actually, they did have a couple injuries, though, while their starters were in the game. Brendan Block actually had an MCL injury. He won't be playing this week. Hopefully he'll be back in the home game versus Iowa City West the week after. Isaac Bucker, quarterback, he got injured as well, and he won't be playing this Friday. But it doesn't seem to be – neither of those injuries seem to be too bad. But, you know, they just need a week to recover, and they'll be fine and healthy hopefully for next week at Iowa City West at home. And so, yeah, it's good to see Cedar Falls with another win, and hopefully now they play Iowa City West. There's a pretty good team at home. They can come out with that win, stay undefeated for the whole regular season, and see what can happen as they try to get into that state championship game in the Dome.
And the Tigers remain ranked first in the state, ranked 46th in the nation. Last night, Cedar Falls Volleyball took it on the road to Cedar Rapids Xavier, winning 3-1. The next time they'll be in action is this Saturday in a tournament. How did you see Cedar Falls play, and how did you see the veterans step up in a game like that?
Yeah, Cedar Falls played really well. I didn't get a chance to go out there and watch, but I heard they played really well. They were focused at the task at hand, and they came out firing the first game. They played really great, I heard. And the second game, they kind of struggled a little bit. They lost that one, but then they ended up winning the next two. And, you know, it's good. They took it to a good Xavier team that was also ranked, I think, inside the top 15. So it's good for the Tigers to get a win like that as they're trying to maintain their top 10 position in the state. And hopefully they can carry on and get some momentum from this win. And hopefully they can take on the next opponent and get another win, and they can just try to get to play at state this year.
It's good to see a team that's so young, who struggled a little bit in conference play this year, come out and get a good win like that over a good Cedar Rapids Xavier team. UNI, homecoming week last week, they defeated Indiana State 23-9. They moved up to first in the national rankings. This next week they'll be playing at South Dakota State, who in the past has given them some trouble. What do you see out of UNI, and what do you expect with South Dakota State and how Terrell Rennie's playing?
Yeah, the Panthers' offenses look really good. They're moving the ball. It doesn't look like they're having very many problems. They have not been turning over the ball very many times at all in their play, and so it's good. And the defense has actually been creating a lot of turnovers, getting after the quarterback, and just playing that hard-nosed UNI defense that Mark Farley has had for a while now as he's been running this team. And it's great to see UNI playing this well, actually. The fans are getting new into it and getting a lot of people to attend the games, and just it's a great environment playing at the Dome for them. And for that homecoming, it's great to get a win like that for the Panthers, and they'll carry on momentum from this, and hopefully, like I was saying before, they can get down to that championship game in the Pizza Hut Park this year.
And Iowa State lost to Baylor this last week. Baylor's quarterback, RG3, just looked unstoppable. Iowa State obviously hasn't seen a player that explosive this year. A player who has a little different playing style, likes to run the ball really fast. Iowa State just had a lot of trouble trying to shut that down. How do you see Iowa State play, and what do you look in this next week with them taking it to the road at Missouri?
Yeah, well, Iowa State did come out fine. They were up 7-0 actually within the first couple minutes of the game, but pretty much from there went all downhill. And it's because Iowa State's been really struggling in Big 12 play, like I knew it might have happened. You know what I mean? It looked like they were going to have a really good season start off, but the Big 12 is a great conference, a great Division I conference, and for a team to have to play in that conference, they're going to have to step up the game and play their best football every week. And Iowa State obviously didn't do that this last week versus Baylor, but yeah, Robert Gifford III is a great quarterback. He is up there comparable to Denard Robinson. They're both really good running quarterbacks, a lot style like Michael Vick, but it's tough when you have a quarterback like that who can run and pass. You have to try to contain him on the outside and also worry about him throwing deep on you. You just never know. So hopefully Iowa State can just, improve off of this, and hopefully if they ever come up to a challenge like this, they'll be able to handle it a little better now.
And Iowa lost to Penn State this last week, 13-3. Iowa went down their opening drive, got 3 points. They didn't score again, and Penn State shut them down from there on out. How do you see Penn State's play and that lack of Iowa offense? How can you explain that?
Yeah, well, Iowa never really got anything going in the offensive game. Vandenberg had a couple passes here and there, but they didn't really have any big play that got them down the field that really stretched the Penn State defense out. Marcus Coker had a couple nice runs here and there, but really it was just trying to get them going up the middle with that tough running right inside the middle with their own line, but it didn't really happen. Penn State was shutting them down, and Penn State's defense looked really good. Their offense came out. Iowa defense played really well. They only allowed 13 points, but, when your offense can only make so little plays, you know what I mean, and the defense can only stop Penn State so many times, you can't expect to get a win like that playing that poorly on offense. So hopefully Iowa could just improve from this and get better as Big Ten play goes on.
And you see, they'll be playing Northwestern at home this next week. Northwestern, historically a team that gives Iowa a lot of trouble. That's definitely going to be a test for them. They've got that spread offense. It's going to be a challenge for Iowa to try and shut that down. And lastly, talk a little NFL and fantasy football. How'd your team do this week, and who stood out for you, and what'd you see in the NFL this week?
Yeah, well, my fantasy team got another victory over a pretty good team. Actually, I'm 3-2 now. I was really happy about that. I got a tough team that's undefeated that I'm playing this week, so hopefully they can get a win. Yeah, it was an interesting week in the NFL. Actually, the Bills beat the Eagles, which was really surprising. Michael Vick threw 4 picks, which was his career high, and a lot of that is because of the pressure that's been getting on him and how many hits he's been taking, and he's been getting hurried a lot. And yeah, it was surprising that the Bills beat him. And the Eagles, who was supposedly supposed to be the dream team coming in the season, is now 1-4. So that's really shocking to a lot of NFL fans out there. And yeah, and pretty much that's all. But it's an interesting week in the NFL, and I'm excited to see what else it has in store because there's been a lot of storylines, and also the Detroit Lions are going 5-0 on Monday Night Football against the Bears. That's surprising after going 0-16 just a couple years ago. It's amazing how they could just turn around a season like that. But I'm really excited to see what the rest of the NFL season has in store for us.
For another edition of Weekly Sports Talk, I'm Jared Hilton. Alongside me is Kalehl Brown. We'll see you next week.